but I threw down lots of new grass seed and nothing happened. Well, here's where you might have gone wrong. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Budget Lawns. I appreciate you joining me as always. Look, last couple videos we've kind of gotten off on some rants. If you want to check those out, I'll leave those linked down below. But I wanted to get back to some lawn tips. Look, I appreciate all of y'all's support. I really do. We're trying to do something a little bit different here on Budget Lawns, and I thank you for being along for the ride. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Today, we're going to talk about how to see the most success when trying to get grass seed to grow, and where you can do the right things and perhaps where you could do the wrong things. Now, we're going to go through this list here, and it seems like a lot, but it's really pretty simple. Just keep it simple. That's always the best route to go. So you threw some grass seed down, and I get asked this all the time. I threw it down, but nothing happened. And I have just been waiting and waiting and waiting. Okay? It happens. All right? You'll see success sometimes and see failures other times. But the one thing you have to always do is just give it time. Perhaps the type of grass you're trying to grow, just those seeds haven't had enough time to germinate. When you're talking Kentucky bluegrass or Bermuda, those take a little bit longer to germinate. Sometimes 2 to 3 weeks, or Kentucky bluegrass even 3 weeks or longer. So maybe you just haven't waited long enough. In the middle of the road there, some of your fescues will take 1 week to 2 weeks to germinate. And the quickest germinating grass is your ryegrass, and that can happen in about 7 days. What does germination really mean? Germination is just those grass seeds starting to pop up as grass, not being seeds any longer. So just give it time. That might be all you need. But perhaps you've given it the right amount of time and you're still seeing nothing. Well, maybe you just had really bad seed to soil contact. And what does that mean? It means you just didn't get the seeds down to the soil enough. It needs to come into contact with soil to be in the right conditions to germinate and turn into grass. Maybe you need to rough that soil up with a garden rake or some sort of garden weasel, whatever it may be. But you need to make sure those grass seeds are touching that soil to be successful. Okay, let's say you've done both of those things. But what is one thing we always hate in our lawns? Weeds, right? So you've gotten onto the internet and you want to find out how to keep weeds from getting in your lawn, especially in that new lawn you're about to seed, and you've seen all this stuff about pre-emergent herbicides. So you think, well, I'll just throw down a pre-emergent herbicide with my seed, and then guess what? I won't have any weeds when the grass comes in. Well, if you've done that, you've made one huge mistake. You cannot put down a pre-emergent herbicide when you are seeding a new lawn or bare dirt. That pre-emergent herbicide will keep those grass seeds from germinating just like it would keep weed seeds from germinating. So skip that step when trying to get a new lawn to establish. Now, I know there are some pre-emergents out there. I don't know a lot about them that you can put down with grass seeds, but for the sake of this video, just skip the pre-emergent when trying to get grass seed to germinate. Now, you gotta have some pretty important environmental things for grass seed to germinate. And one of those is huge, and it's huge in any aspect of lawn care, and that is water. You have to keep that soil and those grass seeds wet. I'm not talking about drowning them and soaking them. Okay, too much water can wash them away and drown them, and then you'll see not very good results at that point, but you need to keep them moist. You need to keep them wet if you want those seeds to germinate. Okay, water is very important. Along with water, you got to have the right temperatures, okay? The temps need to be warm enough for grass seed to germinate. If it's too late in the fall when it's getting too cold, or in the winter time, or too early in the spring, you're not going to have warm enough soil temperatures, which need to be around 50 degrees, which that means your daytime temperature should be around the 60s for about a week or more to have the right soil temps for those seeds to germinate. So make sure your temperatures are warm enough. And you also got to make sure that you're planting the right types of grass seeds at the right time of year. You wouldn't plant Bermuda grass in the fall or too early in the spring because it needs hot temperatures to really thrive. Now, some of your cool season grass seeds like we've been talking about, you can plant those in the spring and fall, but still you have to have warm enough temperatures to see grass seed success, okay? You also need sunlight, okay? Too much shade can keep those seeds from germinating. Even if you're trying to grow seed in a predominantly shady area, you still have to have at least some sun throughout the day to get those grass seeds to germinate. So remember that. Sun is critical, just like your water and your temperatures are. And finally, fertilizer. You might need to throw down a starter fertilizer of some sort. If you're really working with a bad lot or an area that is just bare dirt and hasn't been taken care of and the nutrients in that soil are just pathetic, you might need to give it a little extra boost with some sort of starter fertilizer to help those grass seeds kick off and germinate. Okay, so there are a lot of moving parts here. All right, yeah, you could throw some grass seed down and see what happens. You might get some success, you might get none at all. Birds might come down and eat them. There are a lot of things that can happen that can keep your grass seed from germinating. But if you just remember to kind of keep it simple, you'll see the most success. Give it enough time. Make sure you've got good seed to soil contact. Don't throw down that pre-emergent or they won't germinate at all. Plenty of water, hot enough temperatures or warm enough temperatures, plenty of sunshine, and perhaps a starter fertilizer, and you will see your success with trying to grow grass from seed shoot through the roof. It's not as difficult as it sounds. I know you can do it. All right, my friends, I hope that information helps if you are trying to get grass seed to grow in some bare spots or perhaps on a new lawn. You do those things and you'll be happy with the results. I appreciate you joining me as always, and we will see you next time.